Hello everyone, it's the big one. It's myself, J Mills, versus my older brother, D Mills, the parkrun showdown we've been waiting for at Hastings Parkrun. Now, D Mills has been on a course PB spree with a 17:40 at Seaford Parkrun 2 weeks ago, a 17:33 at Hove Promenade last week, only 2 seconds off his overall PB. I have been struggling in recent weeks with a bit of lurgy, and this 18:35 is all I could manage last week. But after a good session in the week at Mills Training Boot Camp, I feel like I can hopefully set out with Damo. He is shooting for a PB, so he will be starting at 3:30 per kilometre to try and hit a 17:30. Can I try and stay with him? And maybe, if I'm there, have a chance of out-kicking him at the end. I've still got good residual fitness in there somewhere. Hopefully it comes out today. Let's go and see who wins the ultimate showdown. Underway at Parkrun, initially with Damo there, now to me. Wanted to get out hard to give Damo the best chance at this PB, but then eased back when I realised we were out of any trouble and let D Mills take the lead.
There goes the W.
D Mills, always on the lookout for a cheeky Parkrun W, realises the tall guy, in his words, is fast, so no wins today. But that was always an outside bet. And in these very early stages, we are now running side by side at 3:30 a kilometre. Of course we are. And it does look like we may have some good company, some strong looking runners around us. Things you like to see when you're trying to get a PB, as D Mills in the pink just pokes his nose ahead. 400 metres in, Puma Fast R3 is leading our little pack at the moment as we begin to move on up behind Green Running Vest. Damo has a little gander at the watch, decides he wants more and moves on through, and I follow suit. The pace generally I'm seeing at the top left is anywhere between 3:25 and 3:30 per kilometre, right where we want it. 600 in, and we've eased up behind Yellow Top and Alpha Fly 3s on the left. Their pace is slow to 3:35 or 18 flat pace. Puma Fast R3s is having absolutely none of that. He moves through. Checkered Top is next on the list for him. I move on through past Alpha Fly 3. I'm slightly boxed in now. Alpha Fly 3 was just to my left, so I couldn't go there, so I have to skimmy through on the right behind Damo, and we both go past Checkered Top and rejoin up with the Puma Fast R3 party. And can we just appreciate this guy's form? Not D Mills, Puma Fast R3. Look at that leg turnover. It's an absolute thing of beauty. Interrupted by D Mills' back. But Yellow Top is not done with us either. He's joining the 17:30 party. Oh, how good is Parkrun? And there is our first kilometre, and of course it's a 3:30. Fantastic job from Puma Fast R3, pacing us along at the moment. Looking like he might be trying to break free, actually. How am I feeling at the moment? I am feeling sort of alright. My heart rate's 165, in a relatively good place for 1 kilometre into a park run. D Mills at 178, considerably higher, but regular viewers will know Damo's heart rate's usually around 10 more than me. So at the moment it's 13, so is he pushing more than me at the moment? Has he been pushing more than he usually would because he's trying to stay with Puma Fast R3? Time will tell. Yellow Footy Top has now joined the arena. Very nice bloke. Spoke to him before the start of Parkrun, and I now find myself in 4th position in our pack, out of 5, and despite my heart rate looking good, 166, 167, it very quickly started to just feel more uncomfortable than I would like at this stage. It's been happening a lot recently. I do the first kilometre, same as normal, so I'm within myself compared to how I have been a month and a half ago when I'm doing low 17s. But I just can't hack a 3:30, and then the second kilometre feels alright. It just, at the moment, it does not. But I've got the biggest pink target in the world to try and cling on to, and I'm going to do that as best I can. We're still doing pretty well here, holding around 3:30, almost at 1/3 distance, which is unfortunate when I feel like I'm at about 3.5k already, but I've just got to cling in there. Hopefully I'll start to feel a bit better later on. As we enter the underpass, this is where you just have to be careful. You can see the pace at the top. GPS hasn't got to Scooby-Doo what pace you're doing. Just got to do our best to maintain the same effort until we come out the other side, as the pace goes absolutely off the charts. This can occasionally completely screw with your average time on your watch and give you an extra 50 metres or sometimes lose it. we managed to do okay today, where it pretty much averaged itself out eventually, as Orange Football Top has taken the lead of our pack and looks to be trying to break us. We're all a little bit cautious, I think, to try and join him because we've got no idea what speed we're doing. We'll have a look once we get up the ramp on the other side. About to emerge out now. I'm dropping a cheeky bit of 0.30 per kilometre. We've completely lost touch with Yellow Football Top, and Puma Fast R Nitro 3's also getting away from us. And then look, all of a sudden we skipped to 2.3k down the bottom right. So let's have a little look at the second kilometre split that I'm not 100% sure is completely accurate, but I'll tell you what it is. It's apparently a 3:35, so a bit of a drop-off there. Maybe Yellow Football Top had just kept going at the same speed and we had slowed, but we will see definitely at the turnaround. But whatever the speed, I am definitely struggling. Damo is managing to pick it up a little bit to get back behind Fast R3. And I'm really desperately trying to get there, but I'm not doing it at the moment as my heart rate gets into the mid-170s. And as we go through the turnaround now in 8:50, so that's on for a 17:40, doubling that. That is pretty much bang on 3:32, 3:33, so that second kilometre probably was correct. And I have just managed to use that 180-degree turn very well, gaining back a few seconds on Damo. And Damo now deciding to push on past Puma Fast R3. This is not good news for me if he is able to pick it up from here, because I was clinging on for dear life for the second half of that first half of the park run. And I really was not happy about this injection of pace. But of course he needs it to try and get that 17:30 PB. So I also make my way past Puma Fast R3, right behind Damo. He gives me a look behind, sees me still there. And one thing you may have noticed, definitely a bit of a headwind now we're going to have to endure all the way back. So I was feeling terrible in the tailwind. How am I going to do with the headwind? At least I have the henchest man in the history of mankind blocking the wind from me if I just sit here. It was getting really hard out there, lads. Damo kept breaking away a metre or two, and I kept having to claw it back, and it felt horrific each time. And I kept having to remind myself we were getting closer and closer to home. Eventually, this pain will end, and I want to be victorious at the end of it. Hopefully, I can beat him, and he also gets a PB. That would be the dream scenario for all involved, apart from D-Mills. And there's that third kilometre of 3:32, so Damo had managed to pick it up. Still with work to be done to get back towards that 17:30, but we both know we can make up a good amount of time, maybe 10 seconds, with a finishing Mills kick. But it will all come down to whether we can keep at this pace in this dreaded fourth kilometre. Let's check in with D-Mills' heart rate and how he's sounding. 187, and difficult to tell how he's sounding with the car traffic.
It's not happening today.
D-Mills turns to me and tells me it's not happening today, despite the fact that we're really quite close to getting the job done. Is this a ploy? Is this a tactic to get in my head? Don't trust him, I thought. I did feel like we were slowing a little bit. I wasn't really looking at my watch at all. I was just 1 foot in front of the other. Cling on to this Pink Panther. I'm sure we can do it. The wind was being a little bit of a slag, though.
Okay.
And I definitely did not sound good there. At this point, 1 mile to go, I am in the land of I want to stop at every step. It hurts a lot, but I'm just thinking, if I stop now, what a shit video. I've got to keep going for all the lads and ladettes all over the world. Damo is almost, and he's now hit 190 heart rate. The pace has certainly slowed. It's more 3:35 than 3:30 per kilometre now. Is this just going to be a battle for pride now to win today? And where is Puma Fast R3 at? As Damo hits 192 heart rate. as he starts to emit some death coughs at a higher frequency. We come through the infamous Hastings Parkrun bollards that I did fancy in honour of W Mills, going through some zigzags through, but I decided I was fueled with too much hate to let a few seconds slip, although it would have been a huge alpha move. And despite us definitely slowing 340 per kilometre, I think we are catching the tall guy in the blue top ahead that Damo said was rapid. The 4th kilometre is in, and it's perhaps not as slow as I thought it might have been. A 3:37, meaning Damo needs to do a 3:16 final kilometre to get a PB, which would be pretty bold, but this is a man wearing a pink top after all. If he does manage to pull it off, I don't think I'm going to have enough to go with him. It's been a tough old slog out there for me, but I'm still there. I've still given myself a chance, even though I'm fully expecting him to try and break away at some point soon. I perhaps would have had more belief if I could actually hear him death coughing like that, but the wind made it so I couldn't hear him at all, although I should probably have noticed the telltale sign he was also buggered with the Paula Radcliffe head bobbing. 800 metres to go. We've picked it up to 3:30 per kilometre, but of course we need much more for a D-Mills PB. Can D-Mills find something and finally go quicker than he went over 3 years ago? While I'm lurking with a lot of intent. You can see a slight intensity increase there from Damo. 500 out from home. The cadence has increased. 3:25 per kilometre. It is go time. But he can't maintain it and he pulls back to 3:30 and I'm right on him again, thinking about taking the lead. 400 to go and there's another injection of pace there, down to 3:25, but we're going to have to pick it up big time now. We're going to need a very low 3 final 400 metres. I reckon a 70-second final 400 might get the job done, but that is a tall order. But we are now at 3:20 at least. D-Mills is giving it absolutely everything, as you can hear, but he needs to find more, and I am still glued to him. 3:10 per kilometre. As I make my bid for glory and go past him, down to 3:05 per kilometre. 200 metres from home, I can hear him coming with me. It instantly feels like I'm going to throw up as I pick the pace up. 3 flat per kilometre. 100 metres from home, that guy says. I'm into the 2s, but I can hear his feet right behind me. I'm catching tall blue top ahead ever so slightly as well. 250 per kilometre. But wait, it's not D-Mills right behind me. It's Puma Fast R3's coming to take my booty. D-Mills has let the family down with that kick. Can I get tall blue top at the end? No, I can't. Look at the time. 17:33. Damo's a 34 or 35. So close to his PB. I thought we were miles away. Fist pumps all around for Fast R3, but not between us. Too much hate. D-Mills could not look me in the eye. I sat, I kicked, I say sat. It was more like a cling and ping, to be honest. There are the official results. A 17:33 for me, a 35 for Damo, so he was only 4 seconds off his PB in the end. And Puma Fast R3 was an unknown runner, but I did manage to find him and learn that he's a little bit of an absolute goat. He's done a 30 10k in his youth in the 80s and was still doing sub 2 800 meters a couple of years ago. So an absolute pleasure to share the paths of Hastings with him. I'm sure he'd still absolutely annihilate us at the 10k and up, and probably still the 800 meters, as he's still doing 2:10 800 meters now. So thank you so much for watching, everyone. We will be back at a park run near you early next week. I'll see you then.